The PAW Journey is not for you. You cannot duplicate the PAW Journey. Now, before I keep going, let me stop and say, I am so appreciative for the PAW Journey. Shout out to Mr. Jeff, the Judge Davis, Rashard Hall, Antoine McLean, and the staff there. Shout out to the people who've been a part of the PAW Journey, Allison Waymeyer, Savannah Bailey, people that I know. They have laid the foundation for how player development has just been done in this space, in the college space and beyond. So once again, I want to give my kudos to Mr. Jeff, the Judge Davis, and what he's led. And this episode is not to drag the PAW Journey by any means. So please hear me out. I really have got to know Antoine McLean very deeply. I got to know Rashard Hall, as well. And it's been really, really good getting to know them. They've been really helped me in the role when I started. Even Savannah Bailey, who's transitioned to the University of Florida and doing great things with the Gator Made program. They've always been great. They have nothing, they want to help people. The reason why I'm doing this episode is because a lot of people fall into the trap of believing that they can duplicate what they saw there at other universities. And this is where I'm coming to say, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. And it's not because you cannot do the same impactful work that they have done. It is because I have seen people try and literally copy what is done and do it where they're at. And I'm always a big proponent, even when I teach courses and help people with their player development programming, you have to do what works for the program and what works for you, what comes naturally from your staff, the head coach, and the program. You have to do that. They have had a lot of success in Clemson with the PAW Journey because they are doing what works for their players. They are doing what's supported by their head coach. They have a lot of support from their head coach there at Clemson, and that works for them. And I bring this up because I had a conversation with someone in the space whose head coach came to know about the PAW Journey in some way. And this person is a one-person team with, I think, an assistant. And they were literally given, hey, this is what I saw. This is what we're going to do. And the person was like, there's no way we can get this done. Now, this person also identified that some of the stuff that the PAW Journey does as far as like some of their enrichment trips to other cities didn't work for that program because of the city they were in. That professional knew that if people in the city saw them go to another city and enrich that city, it wasn't going to be good news when they came back. And there's a lot of coaches who see what they do and they want to do exactly what they do. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. There's people who, there's a quote right here I'm looking at. It says, when someone is trying to imitate what one does, owns, or thinks, it is a compliment to that person. So once again, compliment to the PAW Journey. A lot of people are trying to do exactly what they're doing. And it's really hadn't been beneficial for some programs. I had an opportunity to evaluate a program. And once again, their head coach had seen the systems and new things, and they brought it in, and the coach was like, do this. And they literally had just got hired in February, and were trying to get programming done that they've seen somewhere else in March. And so they went an entire year. I can't imagine coming into a program not knowing, like last week I just talked about the number one skill you must have in player development is relationship building. I couldn't imagine getting into a program and not being able to build relationships and start programming. Hey, you 7 that I don't know. Let's figure out if you can go on this internship. And now I'm denying people on certain things, and I don't even have a relationship. And so this program that I evaluated, they were talking about how tough it was to build relationships, how tough it had been for them to mentor. And I was like, once they told me that, I was like, that's it. Ding, ding, ding. You didn't build relationships. You didn't build relationships when you came in. You went straight to programming. You went straight to doing things. And yeah, people are going to help. People are going to want to do things. These are great for the athletes, but the relationships aren't there. It's just like, oh, this is a task. And not saying that it wasn't impactful, but it becomes a task when there's no relationship. And so once again, this is not to knock PAW Journey at all, because you will never hear me knock them at all, because they do incredible work. They've done some great things. And, I've got to know the people that work there, and they've done incredible things. But this is more to say that if you are leading a player development program, you need to do what's best for your athletes. You need to do what's best for your city. You need to do what's best for your head coach. You need to do what's best for you as a professional. PAW Journey has staff. They're blessed to have a staff. That's pretty awesome. Y'all all know by this time listening to the podcast, I never had a chance to hire anybody. they have a staff. They're able to get certain things done. And this is not just PAW Journey. Maybe you're looking at different player development programs around the country. Some have staffs. You are able to get more things done. Maybe you're looking at Gatormade, what Savannah Bailey's doing in Florida. She's doing incredible work. But you need to know what you have. You need to know what resources that are that you have and the resources that are available to you, and see what you can do with what you have. Where is the gold in your field? Where is the grass? How can you make the grass that you have greener? Do you need to water it more? Do you need to bring somebody in to bring some fertilizer? What do you need to do to make the grass that you have greener? And so this episode is something quick. I didn't want to, once again, I can't state this enough. This is not to tear down PAW Journey at all. Antoine, I don't want no problems. Richard, I don't want no problems. This is not to tear y'all down at all. Y'all doing a great job. This is to help people understand that you can take some stuff now. I will say that. You can take principles of what they do and try and find that success in what you're able to do, right? You can take principles of that. Like, I like the way they did that. Maybe we can't do a micro internship, but what if we did a week-long educational series where we brought in a company for an entire week and they expressed to our players whatever. Maybe that's what you can do until you get to that point. Because once again, as I said in a couple episodes back, they fundraise and they get good money and they have the support of head coach. None of that happens without the support of head coach. That's a whole nother episode for another day. But you need to look at what you can do and take principles from what they do. They do a lot of great stuff. Even when I was in the role, we took principles of what they've done. But I remember sitting there looking at Lauren Hawkins like, we can't do that. We're not going to be able to do that. That's awesome what they're doing. How can we take the overall outcome that they're getting for their athletes, the overall impact they're having for their athletes? How can we take that, and how could we build that in what we have and the resources we do have and the people who can help and what we can do on the campus? And that's really what this episode is about. Make sure you're doing what's best for your athletes and what you can do. Now, some of you all are sitting there and you're saying like, man, well, I need help. Hey, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I help customize programs, and this is what I will do to help you customize a program that works for you. We will define player development for your program and the resources you have. We will create a unique player development plan specifically for you that will allow you to have success and create impact with your players. We will construct and engineer a detailed player development messaging plan so that you can have these conversations with your coaches, your coaching staff, people in the community. This is what we do for our players. And then finally, we'll create a customizable yearly calendar that allows for you to be very, very effective with the time that you have in your program. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. Definitely want to help you create a program that is customizable to you and what you need to do. Now, I got rolling, I got passionate, and I was making sure that PAW Journey knows that I'm not coming after them. And so let me introduce myself. Hello. I'm Ed Jones, the host of this podcast that you listen to. And if you got anything from this podcast, press the like button. I am also the founder of Beyond the Field, where we create impactful player development professionals and programs. You heard that? So you heard me talk about what I can help you with. We create impactful professionals and programs. And I'm just thankful that you tuned in. Now, I will say this. If you don't know, if you never heard of the PAW Journey, please take time out of your day to go research what they do. They do incredible work. They have their own website. They have some stuff on YouTube. Go out and check out what they do. Once again, take principles of what they do. Because if you take out the entire outline, which I've seen happen in 2 programs, it just does not work. Because what they do works specifically for what they get done there. Now, also, reach out to Savannah Bailey. Now, I know her messages are filled. She worked there, and she's doing incredible things at the University of Florida. Hey, Savannah, if you see this, come on, Savannah. Come on, jump on the podcast. I know you said you're going to do it. I'm going to pick a time. We're going to pick a date. And she will be speaking at the Player Development Conference where she will talk about programming. Yes, she'll have her own session where she will talk about building a player development program. So I'm so excited to hear Savannah talk about that. And she will let you know what worked there in Clemson and what worked in Gainesville. Was 2 different things. Clemson and Florida, 2 different things, same principles, same impact, just different measures. But yeah, check out PAW Journey, check out Gatormade. Make sure you're doing research on all these. There's a lot of great player development programs that are happening around the country, and I want you to do your research. There's a lot of students that are listening to this who get, you want to get time with these professionals. Please research what they're doing. Please research what they're doing. They want to answer your questions, but please research what they're doing. If you're jumping on saying, what is player development without no research, they're still going to answer it, but it's not a good look. Make sure you're researching player development. There's a lot of great people doing great things. So shout out to those who are doing great things. Once again, shout out to PAW Journey and what they've done for this college football space. They've done an immense thing. Immense positivity is probably a better word. What they've done and what they've created and how they've just exposed this side of the player experience to so many in college football and beyond. All right, the player development tip of the week. The player development tip of the week. It's create a recruiting face sheet. Yes, create a recruiting face sheet. So when you have recruits on campus, no matter what sport it is, create a recruiting face sheet. And our recruiting staffs always did this. Shout out to all the recruiting staff. It was probably something about this big. It had the faces, it had their parents or guardians or whoever was visiting with them, names underneath, and it would be great. I could just pull up and be like, all right, so-and-so, oh, hey, so-and-so. It's a lot of kids, 60 kids or whatever, and there may be 25 that are very necessary for you to know. I wanted to know all 60, but also understood that's a lot for continuing every weekend, and maybe 10. But a little face sheet with their faces, their names. You're able to use it as a cheat sheet. So create that. If someone should have already created, but they haven't, do it for yourselves. Have a great day. Go out, create generational impact. Don't wait, create that generational impact today. And check out this video right here that talks about my first day in player development. You don't want to miss. Have a great one.